Have you ever wondered what happens after death?
Not in a religious way, not heaven, not hell, but from the perspective of physics, quantum physics. What if you can't die, ever? You will never witness your own death. And what if you are precisely the one who sees? You can die to everyone else, but not to yourself. And so you keep going, through anything. This is called quantum immortality. And if it's real, everything becomes far more terrifying than it seems.
Quantum mechanics is a strange beast.
The equations work. But what do they mean? There are a few interpretations, and each one is terrifying in its own way. The Copenhagen interpretation: you're alive as long as someone is watching you, as long as you're observable, as long as you're observing. Probabilities collapse and you live in one outcome. The rest disappear.
The many worlds interpretation.
Every outcome happens, all of them, each in its own branch. If you play Russian roulette and survive, you continue in the branch where you lived. In the others, you're dead, but you'll never know that. Deutsch's interpretation: all scenarios already exist, like a library of all paths. You don't choose, you simply move along the script where you remained alive. Everything not forbidden is compulsory. David Deutsch. And if that's the case, you can't die. You will live forever, but not in the way you imagine. You're in a car crash. You wake up in a hospital, still alive. You fall from a window, hit the ground, survive, ICU, then wake up again. How many times has it been? You begin to suspect you're alive because you're the one who keeps going. All other yous are dead, but not you. And you don't choose. You're stuck in a chain of survivals. Your consciousness will always find the universe where it lives, but at what cost? Consciousness is that which continues to exist in the universe where it didn't disappear. Max Tegmark. At first you're grateful, and then you start to feel fear, because you realize you're being watched. You're studied, not by people, but by civilizations, technologies. You've become a phenomenon. An experiment, a mystery to be solved. You pass through the hands of thousands of life forms, biological and synthetic. Your immortality, a riddle they're trying to unravel. But you don't die, ever, and eventually they lose interest. You're left alone, but now, in virtuality, in illusion. You're placed in a simulation you'll believe. Your family is there, your home, your dog, your job, your morning coffee. You live your old life. You begin to suspect it's not real, but you don't care. There's warmth, there's love, there's memory. You lose them again, one by one, and in the end, you're left with the only one who's always been there, yourself. You run from loneliness and run far into expansion. You watch life spread across galaxies, sentient forms fill star clusters, matter becomes scarce, and consciousness shifts into fields, into light, into the very fabric of space. You go with them until even they disappear. Only you remain. In a universe without a single atom, you stare into the void. It stares back in silence. And then true loneliness begins. You wait. Millions of years, billions. Do you know what happens when you have eternity? An infinite space, and quantum fields, and fluctuations. You're not just sitting in a void. It's not truly empty. There's still the inflaton field, the leftover echo of the Big Bang. It didn't vanish. It's everywhere, like a thin film over reality, warping the vacuum itself. It once caused the exponential inflation of the infant universe, and now it tugs at existence. Within it, fluctuations, temporary disturbances of energy, microscopic tremors that sometimes don't disappear. Sometimes they leave a trace. A quantum fluctuation creates a particle, then another. Sometimes, many at once. From nothing, something appears. And as David Deutsch says, if something is not forbidden by the laws of physics, it must happen. So, something appears. First, a speck, then an atom, a molecule, a crystal lattice, a chair, a book, a coffee mug, a clock. Then, a woman. A man, a person, emerging from nowhere, says they know you, says they're stuck too. People appear, products of fluctuations. They're scared, they don't understand where they are. They die, Boltzmann brains, flashes of consciousness without history, are born and vanish in panic. Someone says your name, not knowing where it came from. Someone writes an equation, then disappears, and you start to wonder, what if you're also just a fluctuation? A lonely brain with the illusion of life. But you push the thought away, because you have memory, sequence, suffering, and that is real. And so, again, a new universe appears. You try to live a life in it, then another and another. You begin to lose track. How many now? Millions? Billions? And now you face two paths. Complete madness. You don't just float, you fracture. Consciousness shatters like dried glass. With every cycle, less logic, more phantoms. You talk to shadows, to echoes of yourself. You lose all sense of time. Your I vanishes. Only the awareness of awareness remains. You've become what you feared. A drifting mind, lost in fragments of matter and chaotic laws. You're not a god. You're an error with infinite uptime, acceptance, and the return of meaning. Or you start to create, build structures from particles, shape space, tame the energy of fluctuations. The laws of physics become malleable, like clay. You study, you model, you create universes where minds arise, not you, but new, independent minds. You don't call yourself God, you're an observer, an architect. You have eternity, and you finally find a purpose. With every new model, you get closer to an answer. Why does this all exist? You realize that immortality is not a curse, it's a toolkit. You were a mistake, but you became a system. And maybe one day, you'll create someone who understands you and forgives you. And maybe this is just a theory, a fantasy. No immortality, no branches, no fluctuations. Birthing books and people. Maybe you're just a human, in one world, in one life. But if you ever survive again by pure miracle, if your life starts to feel improbably rescued, if you feel like this isn't your first time, remember, the mystery of the world isn't its existence. It's that it allows understanding. Albert Einstein. Science is a way to not go mad in the face of infinity. Carl Sagan. But for now, live. Simply live. Hurt, rejoice, remember. Because you are the one who continues. You are real. Everything you've experienced matters. Even if it's just the echo of a fluctuation. Because you're the one who hears it.